speaker, Jane Piper. Jane is an organizational psychologist and best-selling author of Focus in the Age of Distraction, a book looking at the impact of digital technology on our well-being and ways of working. She studies the intersection of humans and technology, right down to what is going on inside our brains. After a 20-year corporate career, she now helps people and organizations to live and work better in this digital age. She's a New Zealander who has spent 15 years living in Switzerland, but she will never forget her roots or lose her accent. Jane will challenge us to look at the impact that technology and social media is having on our work and non-work lives, well-being and happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in the floor Jane Piper, the root of an evil, social media, the root of an evil, social media.
Do you remember where you were on Friday, the 15th of March, 2019? Because that's a day that the people of my home country and my hometown in Christchurch, New Zealand, will never forget. It's time for Friday prayers, and Brenton Tarrant strides purposefully towards the mosque. He's greeted by a worshipper who says, "Hello, brother." Those are the last words the worshipper ever says as he's shot. And what happens next is unimaginable. Screaming, crying, pleas for help, and the sound of a semi-automatic weapon as 46 other people are killed. But wait, it's not unimaginable, because the entire time Tarrant is video live streaming it onto Facebook. And he continues as he drives to the next mosque and kills 7 more people. Finally, on his way to the third, he's arrested and the killing stops. But while the killing stops, his video continues to play for the next 2 hours on Facebook. And it's watched, and it's liked, and it's shared, and it's reposted by his right-wing Facebook friends, but also by average people like you and me. 1.2 million copies are out there. Is social media the root of this evil? After the massacre, a picture emerges of Brenton Tarrant, a man living in his cyber cave, completely withdrawn from the world. He spends hours on social media, feeding on a diet of hate and extremism. He creates an echo chamber of people with like-minded beliefs, so disconnected from the reality of peaceful New Zealand. After 5 years of studying and writing and publishing about social media, what happened in my hometown and in my home country, I want to speak out about what we all can do to stop a massacre like this happening. What we can all do to stop being part of this crazy, cyber-connected world that leaves us so disconnected from our roots. I believe there are 3 things that we can all see, think, and do that could stop another. Firstly, with social media, the rantings of a lunatic can appear as credible as those of a Nobel Prize winner. In 2016, Oxford University showed that there is more misinformation than correct on Twitter. Do not get your news from social media. Find real news, because you are what you see. Secondly, ask about what is your diet of social media. Are you creating an echo chamber where the beliefs are just resounding around? Is the invisible hand of the algorithm steering you towards more and more of the same? And the more you see it, the more you believe it. You are what you think. And third, we've ended up in a world where we live meters apart but worlds away. It's easier to connect with somebody on the other side of the world than it is to talk to your neighbour next door. But take the time to connect with those friends and neighbours and colleagues and debate the real issues which are happening, because it's with those discussions that we develop tolerance and we decide what we can do in our communities, because we are what we do. Social media is being used to divide our world and incite evil. It's up to each one of us to make sure we are using social media wisely. We are what we see, we are what we think, we are what we do. Do not let social media be the root of all evil.